Amazing. Hi team, I'm Andrew Tindall from System1, the global marketing effectiveness platform.
Hello, I'm Lucia Ying. I'm a marketer at Amazon Ads.
Amazing. So look, we're here to discuss B2B advertising today, and we've got an expert in the room with us. So B2B advertising has kind of struggled, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, struggled normally with emotion and storytelling. Yet we know that even with B2B advertising, well, especially with B2B advertising, there's only 5% of customers are in market and ready to buy at that time. So we need to talk to the 95% of people. So how does Amazon do that, Amazon Ads do that with their advertising this year?
So in reality, B2B and B2C aren't that different.
Agreed.
Right? For B2B advertisers, they lean into salesmanship oftentimes, that they focus on features and pricing. Hey, that might work in a shorter purchase cycles like you talked about before. But it's not very conducive when you think about drawn-on purchase cycles in B2B world that we see.
Yeah.
The reality is when B2B marketers think about things like B2C marketers, they'll definitely see the benefit of brand building in the long term.
Yeah.
And that really have immense benefits. I think for me, when I think about building emotions, building showmanship, really telling that emotional relevant stories to our audience, that helps build mental availability. I mean, we saw the data from System1.
Yeah.
That really helps us. At the end of the day, there is an economic value in creating an emotional story.
I love that. I think that the 95-5 rule and salesmanship and showmanship is a key principle that kind of changed my career as a marketer. If you are just talking to the people interested in market there and then, you're only ever going to drive that short-term effects, aren't you? But when you start leaning into showmanship, as you say, character story, this kind of stuff, you actually start building those longer lasting effects.
Yes.
You start increasing your profit, don't you?
And that's what we all want at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, agreed. So look, I've seen one of your ads. Matches are made with Amazon Ads. We've worked on it at System1. It's an incredible ad. We'll get into how you've made it and how we helped and stuff like this. But tell us about the idea of where it came from first.
Sure, as marketers, the first order of business is to uncover an insight, finding out what that human truth is. And for this campaign, we started with the insight that Amazon customers need local businesses just as much as local businesses need Amazon customers. So from that point on, we were able to land on an idea that our Amazon ads work hard by matching those mutual needs. Right, so exciting, empowering people, exactly, to be able to deliver on both sides. And for us, we're very lucky. We have trillions of signals, right? When you think about shopping, viewing, and also watching on Prime, we're really able to deliver that need. So at the end of the day, it's matchmaking with Amazon Ads. That's how we like to say it.
Brilliant. I encourage everyone to go actually see the ad. It is very interesting and entertaining, most importantly. So
you gotta give some humor in the story.
Agreed. It's all about the value exchange. B2C and B2B is the same thing. We're reaching human beings. You know, we go to the cinema for entertainment. Ads should follow that same principle as well. Is a key marketing principle for B2B and B2C. So people can see the final ad out there in the real world.
Yes.
But you made a few versions before this, right? Talk us through the creative process, how you got that signed off, because it's not the traditional B2B ad, is it?
No, I think it's got a lot of emotions, and that's what we learned that works.
Yeah.
My background is I started my career as a B2C marketer,
Oh, good.
so I tend to default my process in the
Good.
B2C world, and I think actually, like I said, there aren't that different, B2B and B2C. For me, creativity really is at the crossroad of intuition and information.
Yeah.
Right? Creativity is part of art and part of science.
Yeah.
So you've got to combine both of them together. And so for us, testing a creative spot was never a question.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that we have the right learnings in the process with us. So when we first started this journey, we're very laser in focusing on, hey, let's start with storyboard.
Yeah.
Right? Because storyboard is going to help us to optimize the pre-production. And then we can take the learning from that storyboard into our finished film.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we're able to test the finished film, and we're very lucky and surprised also with the amount of improvement that we were able to get. You know, at the end of the day, I think not only that we need to improve against our own creative process in that journey.
Yeah.
But we also want to make sure that we understand the category norms, we understand benchmarks, and hopefully we're able to bar raise it along the way.
Amazing. So we did iterative creative measurement testing, looking at the emotional response and the associations and whether people could even understand it was for Amazon ads. You're one of the most, flatteringly, a very successful B2B marketer. Amazon's a huge business and Amazon ads, a huge business and brand. Tell us some of the insights from that process and the iterative creative testing that other people can apply to their B2B advertising.
So I think as marketers, we all love stories that has a suspense, that has a hook, right? And then it has a payoff. The reality is in today's supercharged, or rather short attention span, we have to realize that we gotta capture the audience with our brand, registering our brand in the first 3 seconds. So one of the insights that we learned from System1's testing is you gotta get your brand up in front and center.
I think this is such an easy learning for everyone. I mean, we are moving into a 3-screen world,
Yes.
realistically. I'm sat on my sofa with my laptop and my phone, and there's something playing.
We're
on.
all like that now.
Right, and the radio's on in the background, and I've got a second TV with a bit of a film on. And I think marketers don't fully understand. I mean, it's about being market orientated, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, people don't care about our brands. I think you need to put your distinctive, unique brand assets in early and often throughout
Yes.
your ad in any channel now. I think is best practice.
I totally agree. And I think for us, we really have to pivot that thinking. So the learning really helped us. And guess what? We were able to find a creative way to really get that brand registration up front without taking anything away from the narrative as a whole. And the results speak for itself.
Agreed.
So we're very grateful for that learning.
I mean, we've done some research recently at System1 with various different media channels, and we've seen it's not just a logo branding, right? You've got all your distinctive assets. You've got jingles, characters, colors, fonts. Working all that in is super important. Was there anything surprising that you learned from the testing, or what do you think? What showmanship features were really working in the ad for you?
We love data at Amazon. We learned that from LinkedIn B2B creative testing that music really makes a big difference, as much as 10% lift on the creative effectiveness.
Yeah.
So we really leaning into the song, I Want You to Want Me.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song. It actually was a song that first started in 1977. So it resonates really well.
You really know the history of this song.
We got to learn a little bit. So it really registered well with our Gen X audience.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this song was introduced in 1999 with the movie 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay.
So now it also registered with millennials, sort of give a second life. When we look at our small business audiences, and
Yeah.
we know over 60% of them are Gen X and millennials.
Yeah.
So that made us feel really good about choosing a song that we know will resonate really well. And frankly, after listening to it a few times myself, I couldn't get it out of my head.
I've been in this process before, working at large brands, where literally it will come down to 2 songs that you. Also, choosing the music at the end of the creative process is a wild choice. Right?
And it's fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I've been in a situation where my boss is choosing, 1 or 2 songs based on opinion. And we've literally seen in creative testing at System1, you can double the emotional response to your advertising with the music choice, like we see with you guys. So I think, did you end up getting a 5-star ad in the testing?
Yes, it's 5.3.
I think so that's in the top 1%. Well done of B2B advertising.
And it also helped, like in the market test, in the market data, we saw a 16% year-over-year lift. So not only in the testing process, which
you see that actually coming through into the market.
Exactly. So we actually felt really, really good.
16-point lift in salience.
Yes, it is.
Amazing. So look, this has been great. Why don't you leave the viewers with your one tip for B2B marketers?
Sure.
From a creative lens, let's narrow it down to get it out of the sky. For creativity, how can B2B marketers leverage what you've learned in this process?
Well, so first, I think B2B is a misnomer. Businesses don't buy from businesses.
Interesting,
People buy from people.
Brilliant.
At the end of the day, we really need to lean into that humanity. We need to really understand what is that human truth that we want to lean in. And the reality is, those professional business people, they also are human beings. And they also need to be felt emotional. in reality, we should also lean in that storytelling.
Yeah.
And really help those rational business people to feel emotional. At the end of the day, there is economic value in creating an emotional story. I mean, you guys told us, and we saw it in the data.
Agreed. I mean, I think, as you said, B2B, B2C, it's all human beings.
Yes.
At System1, we've seen this over the past 25 years of all our work is the more people feel, the more they buy. And as you've seen in this, leaning into showmanship, character, story, music, actual human insight is how you get that emotion out of your customers and build that long-term brand. And I actually had no idea you saw that in-market impact as well, which is really good to hear.
We are very lucky with that.
Brilliant. Right, Lucia, that was awesome. I've been Andrew Tindall.
I'm Lucia Ying.